because I feel like a child. You know what I mean? Like I'm still immature.
Oh my gosh. That's
And
not
and then
good.
and then I looked down at her hand. Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions, where three friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is the first day of school, and this week we're sponsored by barely working whiteboard erasers that just go.
Let's see how long we can keep doing that.
Oh my god! And there's ink in the marker, but it's like it's supposed to be a black marker, but it's like gray. And
It's basically just like slightly moist felt rubbing on plastic.
Yeah.
Hey,
nice.
I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined as always by Andrew Savage.
What? Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, yes.
Still good? Still good from last week?
Much great.
Okay.
I too, yes. A robot? I am not a robot. Ha 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 ha.
Affirmative.
Hey, I'm also joined by Adam, your school mascot here, Anderson.
Pretend that I just did a flip, like a school mascot.
Was that your sound effect for a flip?
I had to think really quick because I wasn't planning on doing that.
Theater of the mind.
So my school here our mascot used to be Thor.
Mm.
We used to have a giant statue of Thor in the middle, but they took it down. I want it back.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
Yeah, you would like to have a sports team, wouldn't you?
Not even a little.
You just want the statue of Thor?
Why can't you just have a mascot for academics?
Exactly.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question, then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues, and we move to the next question. Adam has today's first question, so take it away, Adam.
My question I'm really excited about because you guys get to embarrass yourselves.
I'm
What's the stupidest thing you've done at school?
so excited.
Well, I've done a lot of stupid things, but this is probably
Well, I'm asking for the superlative stupidest.
that's why this is the stupidest one.
Not the penultimate stupidest.
That's second to last.
So this is actually when I was in middle school. I'm not using this in college because the stupid things I've done now are a whole other degree of stupid that aren't as funny. But
they're just sad.
they're just sad and depressing. But no, so the school district this was in 1998 or 99. So like computers were still like barely a thing. Like we had them. People really didn't know how they worked, but they were there.
I remember this differently, but I was in high school then.
Yes. Well, this was in the middle school in the school district.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was messing around with computers for this class. I don't even know what we were doing on them. But I remember the tech guy was there and he was telling me, and he's like, oh, if you ever need to do this, the password for all of the computers is A. That is it. It's just a letter A. And so I'm like, this is great information to have as a child in
Why
middle
did he
school.
tell you this? He was just like, this is information a middle schooler can handle.
He must have been just like quitting next week.
Yes.
Or wanting to screw over someone else or something.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And so what I figured out how to do is I could send messages to other computers
Yep.
that were in the district. And so I'm sitting on my computer and my buddy's on the other side of the room. And I'm like, I send him a message. He's like, what is this? And I sent a message to someone else. I'm like, this is ridiculous. What's going on? And so in my attempts to be popular, I'm like, this is how it works. Anyway, a bunch of kids decided to message all their old teachers. Just terrible, terrible things on their computer.
Oh, no.
And I remember I got called into the principal's office with like 3 or 4 other adults and just me in the middle of the room. And they're like, did you send these things? I'm like, no. I'm like, well, here's the problem. The password for all of your administration is the letter A. You need to change that or this is going to be a problem. And this is just like the 12-year-old me explaining to them why their security system is not really that great. Anyway, they're like, okay, we'll let you slide because we feel like idiots with our A password. Anyway,
What was that like? Because I did the same thing in high school. Was it like Lotus or Novell message or something like that?
Oh yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because I used to do the same thing. Me and some other people used to like go to one teacher's desk when they weren't paying attention and message the other teacher and tell them to send our friend to our class. Stuff like we just do all kinds of crap like it was great.
It's good times.
In my school actually, like I had just started going there, and then I heard about this guy he was actually the MTV had this show about like senior pranks or whatever, and he was interviewed for his because he like I don't there's probably a better word for it, but I don't know, like he like hacked into the school system or whatever and just started like printing things on the printers just like round the clock. Just I mean, he was just like, yeah, I feel like wasting a bunch of the school's money. Let's print just like some black pages. Or like he would print like our principal's name is is a dummy or something, or like is a bad person. And to be fair, he was, because he had been arrested for a DUI and then somehow was still the principal.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
They're not mutually exclusive.
So he got like interviewed by the MTV people for doing this.
That's been a slow week for music television.
He was he did not play music.
Oh,
but it was weird. Like I saw him like in the backyard, like next door, like filming him and interviewing him. And I was like, that's strange.
I just remember it was 1999, I think, and Napster was still a thing, and people really didn't know how to use computers or protect themselves. And so that's what you get. A bunch of middle schoolers messaging.
You know what's funny? It's pretty much the same today.
Yeah, I bet.
All of the kids in the schools know more than the teachers.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Well, the stupidest thing I've ever done at school, it's not like, oh, ha ha ha, dumb, silly me. It's like almost like immoral. Like so
it's not just the stupidest thing, the worst thing you've ever done too.
Right. Yeah. So I was taking several classes at the local community college, and two of the classes I was taking, one was an English course and the other was astronomy. I was taking other classes, but there was a girl who was in both of those classes, and we sat next to each other in the English class. And we had a really terrible teacher who, I feel bad for this teacher, but they were going through a divorce too.
Ouch.
And so like everything was super bitter and super like just raw. And so this teacher was having like emotional breakdowns in between like cursing out students, and like it was like that was the first day of class.
Man, I feel like everyone should go to at least one class at community college just to really appreciate where they're at.
Yeah. It felt like I feel like I would have gotten better classes in prison. Like I feel like the teachers would have been and the classmates would have been more professional. So I'm there in this class, and the way she sat the class up, there was like the rows were very far apart, except for there was like two rows where the desks were like right up against each other. Am I explaining this right?
I think
like,
so, yeah.
You were sitting, your desk was up against another desk, so it was like every row was two desks, but the rows were far apart. So really the only person you could talk to was the person sitting right next to you.
Yeah,
because the people in front of you were directly in front of you in the back, and everyone else was far away. So basically, we were like going through this experience together. Like we'd been through something. We'd been through a war. We'd seen
like Nam.
Yeah,
you're my co-pilot. Like we're
yeah. And then so like later on that day when we both show up to astronomy class, obviously we sat down next to each other because like we needed to process this. Like we needed to like figure out what kind of therapy we needed to seek, what we were going to do with all of this trauma. And I as I got to know this girl, she would talk about, she evidently worked at a daycare. And so she was always talking about her kids that she was watching and stuff like that. And she seemed just like really cool, really down to earth. And it didn't help that she was like super, super attractive, like TV status. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, how dare she?
Yeah.
Well, and like, so I obviously like developed a little crushy on her. I was like,
you're only human.
Yeah, right. I mean, she was really nice and cool, and she seemed like she was interested in me. which was like a first for me. I was like, I can actually tell that she's interested in me. What is up with this? And I think this was like maybe the first time in my life that it ever really happened, where like someone was interested in me and I was like actually also interested in them. The stars aligned.
Literally.
And so our astronomy class was in the planetarium. So our campus had like, for being a community college, had like a really nice planetarium.
It's actually a pretty okay school.
That had to have been an accident somehow.
Yeah, like the professor there was like actually like a leading astronomer, weirdly.
Was it sponsored by KFC or something?
I don't know.
Like somebody in charge of that decision had to have been laundering money or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyhow, we're getting sidetracked here because one day we're sitting in our chairs that are in. Have you ever been in a
planetarium?
A planetarium. Have you ever been in a planetarium?
Yeah.
Okay, the seats lean back.
Right, you're practically laying down.
Yeah, you're practically like in a recliner laying down because you're supposed to be looking up at this stuff. Well, we're sitting there and our professor turns off the lights and is like showing us some sort of planetarium star thing. And she reaches over and she starts holding my hand and I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
So
did she mistake it for her purse or something? Or
this is like the best. And then the next day I was like, I was trying to play it cool, so I didn't make anything of it. And the next day she wasn't in English class. I was like, oh crap. Did she die from touching me? Like, is this why? Is this what happened? And then she showed up to astronomy class, but our professor was late. So me, her, and another one of my buddies who I took the class with, I feel so bad because I like made him sit somewhere else so she could sit next to me. I forgot to tell that part of the story. So he's like sitting, it's like me, then to the right, her, and then to the right, him. So we were there talking and somehow it came up because somebody was talking about their engagement ring and my buddy was like, like only recently did I ever start like paying attention to like who has an engagement ring or not, because I never had to think about that before. Like I wasn't dating, you know what I mean? I was just like a young kid. And then I thought, yeah, I never look because like I've never had to because I feel like a child. You know what I mean? Like I'm still immature.
Oh my gosh.
And then I looked down at her hand and she had a wedding ring. And turns out I don't think she worked at a daycare. Turns out I think those were her kids. So
you're the other woman.
Yeah, I was super close to being the other woman. And so I made my friend start sitting in her seat the very next class to help me. And I just avoided her. Like I wouldn't talk to her. I was like, oh,
Here's the thing though. She probably thought you knew and you were okay with
right,
it.
because she was telling me about her kids.
Yeah, I mean.
How dense do you have to be? She's like, oh, he's down. Okay. Down to clown? No.
Ring, but here he is flirting.
And I wasn't flirting at all. Like, I didn't even know how that worked. Like, I was just like, she's touching me now. I like this.
This is positive.
This is the greatest story I've ever heard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was nothing happened after that. Nothing, but
you didn't even talk to her about it?
Who knows how far it would have gotten before I would have like realized if my friend hadn't brought up that whole ring thing.
Like you guys are just sitting on the couch, like making out one day, and she's like, I'd love for you to meet my husband. Like, what?
Her husband comes home and you're making out. Like, oh, crap. Yeah.
Is this your brother? Wham. Yeah, that was a terrible experience. That's the worst thing I've done at school.
Well,
stupidest thing I've done.
Adam, try to beat that story.
I can't. Can I just give up?
Yes, you may.
No, you have to say something really stupid to make me feel better.
Okay. I think the stupidest thing that I've done in college, at least, is I started asking people on dates in my class. That's a That's a bad idea.
Like in class?
Like while class?
No, not in, like they were in my class and I was like, I like this person. I will ask them on a date. And you think that, oh, that's fine. Like, it's just how you meet people. Like, no, it's weird. Don't do it.
Adam, I'm going to tell you something. I think you're wrong.
I think it's pretty normal.
I think it's
man.
also not pretty normal, but it's only like a semester is 3 months and then you never have to see that person again.
Right. That's
Yeah,
your
but-
obligation is only a semester long.
I'm going to tell you a quick story about me just last couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
I asked a girl out from one of my classes. She's like, oh, shoot, I would love to, but I actually have a boyfriend. And I immediately said, oh, you should probably break up with him before our dates. I'm not about that. And because of that, we're still friends. But
No, but it's, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Actually, it's probably me.
I mean,
well, you're the only common factor.
But like I do it. Like I asked this girl out once, and we had like been talking and like chatting in class and stuff, and I was like, I would like to get to know this girl some more. So we went on a date, and then like I found out a bunch of stuff that I didn't like about her, and then I was like, crap. And then like the next time I saw her in class, I just ignored her, and I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, you
But
are.
I didn't like sit down next to her. Like we had been like sitting down next to each other and like been being like great.
no,
buds and
I think
stuff.
I understand. Like you found out she was like married or something.
No,
right?
I just found out that I didn't like her.
Oh.
No, then. So here, I'll tell you another story. So this last semester,
I love how
You
this
guys
is
are like,
turning
Adam's
into.
stories are boring.
I'm pretty much. But anyway, so I asked this girl out from one of my classes. We went on a date. It was a lot of fun, but I haven't asked her since. But I still see her in class and I talk to her in class like every day. But there's like understanding, like it's not going to work out, I guess. Like you can
I think the worst thing that could happen is if you try to like set up times to like study together under the pretenses of turning it into a relationship somehow.
Oh,
Yeah, that would
wait,
be bad.
I just remembered what I found out.
Oh.
For some reason I didn't know, but I found out that she was like a first semester freshman, and I was like, nope. Sorry.
Still, Adam, you're still a terrible person. I'm sorry. Get over yourself, man. Just
Beggars can't be choosers, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. Seize the day while you're young.
No,
Dude,
Because when you
I
get
just-
old, your arthritis makes it hard to grip, bro.
the begging gets really
The
hard.
day just falls through your hands like sand. Listen to me, young whippersnapper.
okay.
My old person voice.
Okay, so guys, what would be the best major to have, but that is not already a major in school? So what, like what would be the best area of focus for your education? That is-
Mine is technically a part of your major, but I want to be more specific. Like, for instance, I have a bachelor's of science,
yes,
which is a BS degree.
which you want a little bit more clarification.
I want to make the BS true. Like, I feel like there needs to be a major built around skepticism.
I think there already is, though. Isn't that just what a law degree is?
Yeah, isn't that just or science?
No, you'd think it's science, but science is basically a religion now. So everybody who's a scientist can email me all your upset emails.
I worship at the altar of evolution.
Right. You know, you take the sacrament of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
You say 3 Bill Nyes.
This is in memory of his quarks. This is in memory of his neutrinos. No, but I feel like, and that's kind of my point, because I feel like there's a lot of people who are way into science, but they're not really skeptical, and they should be skeptical, because
Right.
that's the whole point of science, is testing assumptions. And I think a lot of people don't do that. They don't, question everything.
Oh my god.
But no, I really believe that there should be a just like a group of people whose entire major is built around being skeptical and questioning the status quo of stuff. Because I feel like that just does not happen. Like, there's so many things ideas that people take for granted, and they build this whole structure upon this idea, and then 100 years later we find out, well, that idea was like super wrong.
So like those scientists back in the day that studied the sizes of skulls and what it meant for the person is now like huge
Right.
idiots, and like you wasted your life studying that.
There's just all kinds of stuff that's like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we could do with a healthy amount of skepticism.
Could we though? Could we really?
I feel like we could.
Did you see what I was doing there? Or just-
Oh,
Oh, you're
I
being
got it.
skeptical.
Oh, that is my
I think that's
one.
not really skeptical. That's just being annoying.
But
though.
see, the problem is I think a lot of people are skeptical about the like outsiders. They're skeptical of anything that's not their wheelhouse.
Right.
Yet whatever's in their club is fine. Okay.
yeah,
and-
there's
and-
no like self-skepticism going on.
Right. People think like, "Oh, I'm a skeptic." But you don't ever really like apply that skepticism to yourself or to your own group.
You just don't agree with other people.
Right. You just think you're right about everything. And unless you're right about everything like me, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was just not going to touch that
I am
one.
accepting that blindly.
All right. Good.
I think that there should be a major all about reading books.
Isn't there already?
Yeah, isn't that your major? And then telling people what they did wrong in their books.
Yeah, it's all.
This book is good. This book is bad.
That's it.
Okay. I got one. Okay.
Okay.
sorry. I think that there should be a major about just like how to live life, or maybe it should be a minor, but like there should at least be a course of classes about like how things work, like how to be an adult.
Yeah.
Like I'm 24 years old. I still don't know how to adult. Like I'm still not totally sure how taxes work. Like there's a form that I fill out, and then it tells me I'm poor, but that's all I really know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Actually, here's the thing. That's what being an adult's all about. You figured it out.
I think I don't know if it should be a degree, like a major, but I think that's something that needs to be taught to people super hardcore.
Or like maybe it's a major to like you major in this, and then you get to teach other people how to do it.
Right.
Kind of like an English degree. It's not actually useful in itself, but it's useful for telling
Congratulations.
other people how.
You've
Oh, man.
become a successful human being. Now go teach other human persons how to become an adult.
So I work with I have 2 offices I work in. One of the offices I work in the closed captioning room, and all we have are English majors there. And I know I'm going to offend some English majors, but they're very delusional about their job opportunities after work, after school. They're like, oh, people need English majors everywhere. People write books or newspapers or the web. I'm like, well, there's 3 things.
Yeah, I hate it. People are like, yeah, businesses love looking at English majors because they have communication skills. And it's like, well, also businesses need people who can sell things and who can do math.
Yeah. So, and they're, oh man. So they talk
Truth
about,
be told, what businesses need are really uneducated, malleable people they can pay cheap wages to. So
yeah, that's why they do
That's-
summer cells.
yeah, that's the truth.
Businesses just need a wage slave.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way it is now.
But yeah.
And then the robots are going to take over. And, well, sorry,
But
go ahead.
no, but I'm just, them talking about grammar
Mm-hmm.
is about what I assume I talk about computers when people don't know what they're talking about computers.
Mm.
Because they're like, and so they just get so upset. I'm like, oh, I think I understand now why people don't like talking to me about computers. So I'll give you an example. So we have an intramural sports on campus, and they have what we call a Telecaster, which is this computer that can take raw footage and then stream it out on the internet in just this one computer. You don't need like another server. Anyway, but we need it for whenever we have events on other parts of the campus. And so we took it from them because it's technically ours. We just let them use it sometimes. And so they're like, hey, we want to be able to film some of our sports and put it on the internet. And I kid you not, this one says, we're thinking about using Periscope to do that. Would that be okay? And I look at my boss, I'm like, no, that's not going to work. That's the worst idea ever.
Just hold up your iPhone.
Just
man.
hold up your iPhone filming it, and other people with Periscope can also watch it.
Right.
That was their plan. And I was like, no, that's the worst plan ever. No, you can't do that.
Mm.
See, he should take my adulting courses.
Take a slap upside the head.
It's like, this is how a computer works. These are the basic skills you need to know how to.
It's funny because I've been in kind of an experience that feels really weird to me where where people kind of like looked up to me as kind of more of an adult, and I was like, what?
You need to stop that right now, young man.
People are like, man, you just know how to do all this. I was like, huh? So I think some of it is it's a matter of perspective, and I think some of it is a matter of like people, a lot of adult people like to be self-important, or they like to put other people down to make themselves feel better. So
Yeah.
they like to project this aura of having it all together, but they're like, you know, in massive debt and losing their marriage.
So
and
we're not supposed to be doing that?
No.
Dang it.
So I think sometimes it's hard to evaluate like what is an adult, but I do think like some basic skills people never picked up along the way. And I picked up a lot of those skills because I was the oldest. I was like the first pancake. And so like,
so you're the weird shaped one?
Yeah. Like, and everyone's like, what's wrong with him? He has all these problems. I'm like, because I freaking had to do everything first. Because I had to like learn everything the hard way.
and then you're there for the other kids. You're like, hey, this is what really you have to do.
Right. And I'm like, don't do this, don't do this.
Yeah.
Follow-up question.
No.
You know how when you're a kid, like one of, at least maybe, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but one of my most used words was like, why?
Mhm.
I had questions about everything, and like I knew that I didn't know everything about everything, and I loved it, and I just wanted to learn everything all the time. I was like, just tell me all the things. When did we lose that?
I'm just saying I would have hated you as a kid.
I think that's the story of this podcast. Is that if we had met at any other time, you guys would have hated me.
I think I never lost that. That's why I decided that we should do a podcast called Three Guys, Three Questions.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just judging other people really harshly, but I feel like a lot of people have.
It's why I spend so many hours on Wikipedia.
Dude, Wikipedia
Just
is
like
awesome.
going down the K-hole.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just judging other people, but I feel like a lot of people have lost that. They're like, nope, I'm secure in my knowledge. It's like, no, you're not. Shut up. Learn a thing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of really practical skills that like I don't know how anything about cars. I'm like completely useless. Like people start talking about like their car lingo, and I'm just like out. They're like, oh, the camshaft, blah blah blah, Hemi, blah blah blah. I don't know what any of those things are.
I could define all of those terms for you. I actually know a surprising amount about cars.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of weird because I'm an English major.
I don't know how to do taxes.
Cars. we'll trade info. I'll tell you about cars and you can teach me about taxes.
I know how to do paperwork because I went to school for a long, long time.
You got your degree in jumping through hoops?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I asked this question because I was reading on the internet. I don't know if you've been there before, but I guess there's a university in England that just made pizza as a major. And I was like, yeah, I could do that.
How do you major in pizza? Like, do you? I'm assuming it involves a lot of eating of pizza.
So I don't know, but I imagine being covered in cornmeal half the time is probably part of it.
Like, do you learn how to make the pizza, or do you just learn the theory of pizza?
I think both, really. I think that's a separate class. I mean, it's not just gonna be one class.
It's like a applied pizzeria. Even.
Yeah, there's gonna be an eating class. There's gonna be a theory of pizza. There's gonna be construction of pizza. Pizza Hut management, I assume. It's for pizza.
Is the capstone just a thesis and a pizza?
Yeah, you just make a pizza.
Or do you just like spell out your thesis on the pizza with pepperonis or something?
My favorite class was the ethics of pizza.
The ethics. Right. Yeah, so I feel like that would be the best use of my time now that I think about it. I mean, I've already done so much homework on pizza already.
Yeah. I do feel like I know a lot. Like I can tell a good pizza from a bad pizza.
There's a Pizza 101 New York style Chicago deep dish class.
I feel like after all this, like you definitely get really good at, you know, that people, they do the pizza between their fists and they throw it up in the air, spinning it around.
Oh yeah.
Like you become like a pro tosser.
Remember, I used to do that actually.
Used to toss a lot?
I used to toss a lot. No, that was my job. Remember, I worked at the pizza place and I know. Threw the pizza around.
I used to just like going there and just like watching you do it.
It was like magic.
Just like sitting in the corner by myself.
It's funny because it's one of those skills that
I love how you treated it like it's normal. You're like, oh yeah, of course.
that happened all the time. So it was just, it was dinner and a show.
Look even more weird.
But it's one of those skills that it took a while to learn, and then I've never had to use ever.
That's why you need to go to this school in England.
Yeah, no. And first of all, what does England know about pizza? Why do they think they're like qualified enough to have a major in pizza?
Maybe all the professors are American and Italian.
Maybe.
Like they're trying to bring it. Like bringing pizza to the people.
I mean, pizza. People say that pizza is Italian food, but let's be honest, it's pretty Americanized. It's like saying the hamburger is German. Nah.
It's like it's basically the English of food, right? Because it comes and it's like, I like these Italian things and maybe some of these Greek things and some of these German things. And it's just like all mishmashed together. And it's amazing.
One of my favorite things is to tell foreign people that I love pineapple on my pizza.
Yes.
Because it just like blows their minds. They just cannot fathom the idea.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
It's good
Probably
stuff.
because it's gross.
It's good. Pepperoni and pineapple is the king pizza.
Oh, that's the way to go.
But like, what's the over-under though on Kenny Roderick like writing an application to this college right now?
He's gonna leave California to go pursue his dream of getting a BS in pizza.
Because I guess it is science, pizza science.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Oh no, it's science. Well, that's what I don't get. My degree's in English and I have a BS.
How is that possible? That's some BS right there.
My question is, if you could teach one subject for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Well, I was gonna say something like really realistic, like, oh, I could teach English or editing or something, but now I just want to teach pizza because I imagine that's a lot like getting your pizza degree, except you don't have to pay for it; you get paid to do it.
So here's the only negative I have. The only one.
No.
You probably have to taste a lot of bad pizza from the students. That's the only negative. The rest is positive, though.
Also,
but I guess you would know from the first bite, like, this is bad pizza. F.
The thing is, are you prepared to teach that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, your plan means you're gonna have to go and do and get your pro pizza degree first.
Oh, that's true.
So that you can become a teacher.
I've worked in a pizza place. Does that count? I have.
Oh yeah,
experience.
no, you're in.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's work experience.
The class is just like an extra long weekend.
I mean, you can only be an adjunct faculty, but you know,
it's still. I mean, I wouldn't have to worry about paying for food. I imagine.
Right.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's just like I had a friend who in college took like all of the food classes. And just never had to go shopping ever again for the rest of their life, which is smart because you're already paying per credit.
Yeah.
Right.
And some of that credit money should go to feeding you. He was basically a genius. Like he would come into a class we had together after one of his like catering classes with like those large catering tin, things like full of different kinds of foods.
Yes.
And I was just always so jealous. I was like, you're so smart.
They're called Cambros, by the way.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why you know that, but I like that you know that. I like it.
Because we used to use about Five Guys all the time.
Andrew, what do you want to choose?
So this is actually a class I took a couple semesters ago, and it's called Intro to Robotics. And it's such an awesome class.
I love intro to classes because they don't bog it down with unnecessary, like, here's the really complicated bits. They're just like, look how amazing it is.
Look, robots are cool.
It gets even better than that. So not only did I get 3 science credits for this class, which is awesome, but it's pretty much we just played with the Lego Mindstorms all semester long.
Yes.
By the end of the semester, we had to build robots to fight the other team's robots out of Legos.
Yes.
Because there's an
I
app.
like where this is going.
So there's an app you can get on your phone that will control your robot through the Bluetooth, and so you can just sit there and control it, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I want to take this class taught by you.
Dude, what if you could just do a Lego class?
Dude, Is that a thing?
Screw intro to robotics.
Just
Do like Legos 404, or whatever.
I will say though that for one of the chapters for the class was making a Rube Goldberg device.
Oh.
And so that was fun. I just felt like I was in Pee Wee Herman.
Gosh, Legos, man. Sorry, Lego Toys and Blocks.
Yes.
Bricks?
Bricks.
Lego Toys and Bricks. Sorry.
Anyway, I teach that class.
Your guys' answers are way better than mine.
I mean, you still have time to change it.
No, I'm gonna stick with it because that's
Okay.
what I do.
You're
If we've learned anything, rushing into something bullheadedly, ignoring everything around you, is my modus operandi. That is what I do.
Till the next day, and you know she has a wedding ring.
My pick is I love to teach anthropology.
That is a very conservative answer.
I like anthropology because it's like zoology, except for the animals speak English.
That makes it a little easier. Well, not necessarily always English.
Well, no, okay, they speak different languages for sure, but like, I don't know, they're just like
They
way
can talk
more
back to you and be
interesting.
like, no, that's not good.
Like anthropology gives you a reason to like creepily stalk people. like I loved the anthropology professors. If you go to college right now, or you happen to be visiting a college, I want you to look up who the anthropology professors are and just walk around campus all day and spot them. You're going to find them doing the creepiest crap. They're going to be hiding behind bushes. They're going to be walking around with a notepad staring at people. And it's going to like open your eyes to this whole new thing because you never noticed before. But these people are just basically openly stalking people.
Oh, I just thought of a class you could teach.
What?
The anthropology of anthropologists. you
like
can follow them around.
Study
with
the
notebook.
culture of anthropology.
So, Aaron, I would agree with you. So last semester, there's like a crosswalk I walk across to get to campus.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the semester, there was just these groups of students with notepads just looking at people writing stuff down as people were taking crossing. So I was like, what's going on? So I asked, like, what are you guys doing? It's like, oh, it's anthropology. We're just trying to decide what makes one person go another way or another.
It's like probably
And we're keeping track of it.
where they have to go.
Yeah, well, because like most of the housing is on like a kitty corner from where the campus is.
Oh.
So you can kind of choose to go left or right and you still get there. And so they're just sitting there, like 10 students sitting in like lawn chairs on this lawn just in front, like,
see, that's the
just-
best.
taking notes.
That's awesome.
You could just like, oh, that is amazing. That's just an excuse to do people watching. Like
Anthropology is
people
cool
watching.
too because it covers so much. Like it covers history, it covers biology and physiology, it covers like it's just like anything human. It's like the subject is humans.
Yeah, and like yeah, exactly. Anthropology is the study of people, and you're a people, so you may as well know a lot about it.
Right. And I find people to be the most interesting thing. So that's why I was almost an anthropology major. And I can still remember most of the bones, which makes me happy. Oh my gosh, the best experience I ever had in like my whole school career is the first day of physical anthropology lab. It was me, and I'll bleep their names out right. But like our teacher came out and he put a bunch of boxes of bones out front of the class. And then he took this other small box and set it to the side and said, "Don't touch these. These are real human bones and you're not ready for that." So,
Why did he bring them?
well, because they were like in the lab cart that he brought out.
Oh.
And he was like, "Over here, we have replica bones. Everyone come and grab one bone." So I go up there. We're all going up there and they're picking out all these different bones. And I pick this femur. And as I'm walking back to my chair, I'm like, man, this is like a really amazing replica because it's like super detailed and it feels like bone. It doesn't feel like plastic. And then
It's like it's all textured and
and I was just sitting there staring at it, and looks at me and she's like, "I'm pretty sure that's a real femur." And I was like, all of a sudden I pictured someone's leg wrapped around my hand, like my hand was inside their leg, and I realized this femur was inside of a real human person, and now it is in my hand. And for a split second, I was terrified more than I've ever been in my entire life. And then immediately that terror went away, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, it was such a weird experience to have.
It was just like immediately replaced by fascination.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say that was a perfect impersonation of
You guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, anthropology.
I just think of the store, like anthropology, but it's a class just about the store anthropology.
Oh, can you imagine how many stupid people are going to show up to my classes like, I thought this was going to be like the store.
I thought we were going to make displays.
Get out!
Sell wooden forks that cost $50.
This is bespoke candlewood. No, thank you. Well, I don't know. I'm just so enraged by that idea. I can't focus on anything else.
Anthropology. It's cool. There we go.
Gosh, I remember one time Lance dragged me into anthropology, and I was just like, this exists? Like, this is the perfect evidence for why our civilization is going to fall and crumble and die. This is like Rome in its heyday.
The thing is, I like going there. I just don't like buying stuff.
Maybe that could be a good anthropology project, like figuring out why people like that store.
Ugh, why do they?
One word. Pretentious is the word.
You could just interview people coming out, and you'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" And then when the security guards try to come to stop you, like, "Hey, you can't harass these people." Like, "Oh, I'm doing an anthropology study."
I actually am an anthropologist, so
I just invented a really fun game.
What's that?
You want to hear it?
Yeah.
I'd love to.
The game is called Anthropology, and you invent items that could be found in an anthropology store. So something like handmade kombucha soap crystals. Something like vinyl record ashtrays.
Those are things I have.
Oh,
I've been there.
There you go.
I was just there over Christmas just for a second, and they had a giant log, like 3 feet long, 2 feet wide, and they had carved the top of it into a Morton pestle, also made of wood.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like $300. I was like, why?
Everyone, I want you to. I want to start a huge game of anthropology.
Yeah.
This new game that I've invented. And I want you to tweet at me or tweet at _3G3Q your items that could be found in an anthropology store.
And then you know what we should do?
What?
We should take that list and then try to find them in an actual anthropology store.
9 times out of 10, we probably will. But see, I don't like that because that involves actually going into the place.
We'll just do it online. I don't want to do.
I feel like I'm a person who can't go into an anthropology store because everyone just like looks at me. It's like when a non-zombie walks into the zombie lair and all the zombies slowly turn their heads to the side and stare at you.
Yep.
Oh man, the closest one to me is like an hour away.
You're lucky. All right. Well, hey, thanks for listening. Remember, your ratings, what do they do?
Fuel us.
So, please go and rate the show wherever you listen to it. I don't care if you rate it on the moon, if you're an astronaut and you're on the moon listening to this. I want you to just write on the surface of the moon, 3G3Q, 4 stars.
Also, if you have friends that haven't rated us, steal their phones. Rate it on their phone.
Yeah, that's an option.
Also, if you're an astronaut listening to this, let us know and also take some pictures of space and send it to me.
Right. I want you to take a picture of you listening to our podcast.
In space.
Or, if you work in anthropology or something. I don't care. I'm interested to hear where you listen to us at. You can also subscribe to receive new episodes the moment they're released by going to 3g3q.co/subscribe. We'd also love to hear from you. Where can you guys be heard at or read at?
Well, when I'm not eating pizza, I'm on Twitter at @A_Sav. Tell me what your favorite topping is. I'll tell you why you're wrong.
If it's not pepperoni pineapple.
Yes.
You're gonna write a screed about pizza toppings?
He's gonna do like a tweet storm about it.
Yeah. I don't even know what that is, but I'll do it.
I am on Twitter writing haiku about people at that Adam Kid.
Really? I thought that was months ago.
I'd like to start again.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. You guys heard it. Ask him. I'm on Twitter at Aaron LM Goodwin, and I'm reading haikus on Twitter all the time.
Is it haikus or a haiku?
Haikai? Hey,
I'll look it up later.
we also want to tell you that you need to check out the other great shows on goodstuff.fm,
They're pretty
which
awesome.
is a wonderful podcasting network, which we happen to be on. Check out shows like Transmission. And that's it.
Okay.
And if you like U2, you can listen to the @U2 podcast. Chris Enns is really into U2, and I'm pretty sure like every other episode, Bono's on there. So if you like Bono, you should listen to that. Yeah.
I've been listening to I Guess We're Grown-Ups Now, which is entertaining because it's kind of like the class that I would like to teach for the major that I would like to start.
I feel like that show is like
about taxes.
is like pulling the curtain and revealing the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, it's actually really nice to know that even people older than me also have no idea what they're doing.
Somehow it's comforting.
Yeah.
Hey, other than that, we just want to tell you that you need to remember to check for a ring. Because if you want to put a ring on it, you need to know if there's a ring already there. I also want you to remember that you can go to England and become a great tosser.
I like it.
If you want to be a stalker, but legit, become an anthropologist. And I also want you to remember to question everything.
Blast off. You know what show I really like on the Good Stuff Network? Transmission AM. I just want to get that out there.
Okay, should we do the claps?
Why you making out with yourself?
That's coming from your microphone, and I believe it is the sound of you kissing butt. But. Okay. Yeah, clapping. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Let's do another show here. This is a different week. Preserve the illusion.
I just
we do this real time.
It's January. Actually,
I just realized my roommates must think I'm crazy because I just clap randomly throughout the night.
Hey guys!
Like,
hey guys! Hey!
I don't understand why he thinks that podcast he's on is so funny, but he sure claps when he's on there.
just once. He's very frugal with his claps.
My claps are special.
Okay.
I just like to do one really big clap. Okay. Let's do the show. Yeah, but like the worst thing is that you set up studying sessions with them under false pretenses, and then it turns out like they drag you down.
Yeah.
Like your grade starts going down because of them.
Because they're not helping you study at all.
Right. That's like the worst situation.
All
right.
Okay.
That was depressing.
That was good.
Sorry, my answer's terrible. All the new listeners.
Oh no.
From the Good Stuff Network.
No, if you're new to the show, this is basically what Adam does. Is he likes to ask a question. Hey, what's the dumbest, stupidest, idiotic, most ridiculous thing you've ever done? And then he gets the answer. He's like, I don't really have anything.
No,
he makes us look bad.
I told you I had like a really good answer to this, and you're like, no, you've already told that story. So this is what you got.